Hi everybody, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga, and this is Soft Flow Yoga. Thanks for joining me. In this practice, we're going to be doing a couple of back bends, two poses. One will be bridge pose, and the other is camel pose. Nice opening for the front side of the body. Let's start in seated to get ready for our practice. So go ahead and sit on a comfortable soft blanket or on a pillow. Just make sure you're sitting up tall with a lengthened spine. Take a deep breath in, even raise your shoulders up towards your earlobes. Fill up your lungs and then exhale with a sigh, releasing the shoulders. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift shoulders up. Breathe it all in and exhale. Good. Just continue breathing slowly and deeply, maybe with a gentle circle of the shoulders. A few times backward, a few times forward. Just want to warm up the shoulders just a little bit since we will be doing some back bends, just to help open up through the front body. As you inhale, just feel the breath rising, filling up your lungs. And as you're able, when you exhale, just draw your belly button in towards your spine, just a light engagement of your abdominal muscles, which we call the abdominal lock. Again, breathing in, breath rising, filling up your lungs, exhale, and draw belly in. So just some simple ways just to really tune into your body. Notice how you're feeling at this moment. Let's take a few more breaths here in stillness, and then we'll add a very simple movement. Let's continue to warm up our shoulders. We'll inhale and extend the arms out, then up, reaching for the ceiling. So treat it like a good stretch. Then exhale, extend the arms out, then back down, and complete that round of breath. And go ahead and do that again, breathing in, reaching out and up, and exhale. Let's do a few more times, but go ahead and breathe and move at your own pace. Again, just noticing the mobility of your shoulders, also a good lengthening through the sides of your body. We're keeping that breath flow. When you inhale, not only are the arms going up, but breath is rising, filling up the lungs. When you exhale, arms come down, but feel the belly button draw in towards spine, continuing to engage your core. All right, one more time with the arms and breath. Good, and just come to stillness for a moment. All right, let's come to hands and knees. Let's warm up the spine and hips. Use some padding here if you'd like. So once here, cat and cow. We start with cow pose, which is an inhale. So we tip the pelvis back and inhale, just feel the heart open, tip the chin up. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under, feel the rounding of the back, and continue to feel the belly button draw up towards spine as you tuck your chin towards chest. Inhale, reverse it, tip pelvis back, the belly will drop, arching the back. It's a back bend feel, heart opens. Exhale, round. And remember, when we do back bends in yoga, they're called heart openers, so we will be opening our hearts today. So here with our cat-cow flow, just getting some good mobility through the spine, opening up through the hips. We'll strengthen the arms and shoulders here too. All right, finish the breath that you're on. We'll take one more. Here's my last one. Inhale, cow. Exhale, rounding it out into cat. And just return to a neutral tabletop posture. Just pause here for a moment. Our first pose will be lying down. We'll do bridge pose first. So if you are using a blanket or any other padding, let's set that to the side for a moment. Go ahead and lie down. And you're welcome to have a prop nearby, like a block. So you're going to lie down, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And just let everything relax here for a moment. We'll take a few deep breaths. So we'll do a supported bridge pose, and you can use a block or even a pillow. I just want to make sure your knees are bent so we have good alignment, so your knees are stacked nicely over ankles. That will just give you some good leverage when you eventually lift your hips up into the air. So let's take a breath in, once again filling up your lungs. Exhale, engaging belly. Make sure you've got your block in one hand, and then press feet into the floor, lifting hips just high enough until you can get your block or whatever prop you might be using underneath you. I'm turning my block to a level 2, and then just take a seat. I'm going to adjust my feet a little bit, rest my arms. Now you can see perhaps that I'm really not lifting very high, but I'm comfortably sitting on my block. They're just a natural opening through the front body. It's a wonderful place just to kind of relax because you don't have to engage the body too much, to really open up. Just think about the postures that we're in normally throughout the day, maybe sitting at a desk or driving in a car, where we might be getting tight in the hip flexor region or around the belt line, or even in the chest because our arms are usually in front of us. So here, just lying down, chest is open, shoulders are rolled back, a little bit more space in the hip flexor region. All right, if we want to engage this posture, we can just keep feet rooted into the earth, making sure knees are over ankles for good leverage. And with a good exhale, just press to lift away from our prop. I'm just going to move that out of the way. And just hold. You can even squeeze the glutes just to give some energy there. You might even feel the hamstrings engage, but knowing we're also still opening up through the front body. Thighs, I can feel the engagement here. Great opening across the belt line. Even the belly gets a bit of a stretch. Shoulders back, underneath, opening the heart. I'm even going to rock upper body left and right several times just to get the shoulders a bit more underneath my body so I feel the chest opening. Now for the arms, you can just rest them on the floor or even use your hands here just to support the lifting of the hips. All right, just 2 more breaths. Just knowing that you can have several variations of the posture, a very engaged version like this, holding yourself up, or a more relaxed version where you're sitting. All right, before we get out of the pose, I'm just going to wiggle my feet forward a little bit, extend the arms straight up into the air to get the shoulders out from underneath my body, and then slowly roll down. Making a nice contact with the ground, and then extend the body, extending the arms back, and extend the legs out front. Reach and stretch. We're going to come up to our knees and practice camel pose. Let me just quickly show you here when I'm doing bridge, and if I'm reaching down to touch my heels, I'm actually doing camel pose, but just in a different formation. So just take a snapshot of this, and then you'll see how camel is very similar already. Go ahead and hug your knees into your body, maybe roll to your side and press yourself back up. Even come back to hands and knees. I'm going to bring my padding back in using the blanket here because we're going to be kneeling. So I'm going to use that as padding right here. So you can lift yourself up onto the knees and a little activation of the pelvis, just push forward. Imagine there was a wall right here and just kind of pushing your hip bones right into the wall. We're going to keep that active, keeping this alignment of hips over knees. All right, you can even tuck your toes if you'd like, or keep them flat, either one. Camel pose, think about the hump of a camel, and that's the formation that we're creating. But we're going to support our backs here. I like to make fists and bring them back behind like so, and just below the belt line. And what I'm doing, 2 things here as far as the movement. It's very subtle. I'm pushing down with the fists to make some space across the belt line, but also pushing forward to maintain the connection of hips over knees. So down, forward, and that's a constant movement. When I push down, I'm inhaling and trying to get tall up top. On the exhale, I'm pushing forward with a gentle lean back. And this really puts me into that back bend. And we're going to keep it here for soft flow, a nice supported camel pose. I'm pushing down to make space across the low back, pushing forward, gently leaning back, not too much, maintaining the hip over knee alignment in this heart opening. Now you can just pause just like this, hold just like this. So stay here and let me show you maybe a deeper position you could potentially take. So I'm going to tuck my toes just to bring the heels up a little higher so I can reach back, touch my heels. I'm going to sit down a little bit so I can actually touch the heels. But when I inhale, I'm going to roll shoulders back, lift the torso up, really my sternum, my heart up. With the exhale and kind of pushing the hips forward, still sending the pelvis towards the imaginary wall and keeping the hips over the knees. So it's a deeper version of camel right here. Now, if you want to do this, you're certainly welcome to, but for soft flow, you can just keep that supported back variation. All you really need to do is just to maintain that pelvic push forward, which opens up the front body. Arms and shoulders are kind of behind you to open up through the chest, and you have good support for the low back, so we don't have any pinching or binding there. All right, 2 more breaths. All right, we'll lower the chin, soften the hips, and even sit back, free the hands and bring them out front. Let's just come briefly to child's pose. I'm taking the knees slightly wider on my blanket, sitting back, hips towards heels. They don't have to touch the heels. Sitting the arms out front. I'm going to bring in my block here because I'm going to rest my forehead on the block. We'll just pause here. So this is a nice counter pose to our back bends. 2 things are kind of happening here in child's pose, maybe 3. 1, we're getting a nice rest. 2, a slight rounding of the spine after doing a back bend. And 3, some lengthening at the same time, some lengthening and opening through the whole spinal area. Stay here as long as you'd like. We'll take 2 more breaths here for the moment. Whenever you feel ready to come out of your child's pose, you can come up, you can come back to seated. You can even lie down in Shavasana. So sitting up nice and tall here, taking a deep breath in and out. Finishing with one last movement, we'll inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Take 1 more breath. And as we come to the close of our practice together, we bow, saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.